Hey, what's up, everybody? Cranky's running a couple minutes behind. Wrapping up some wrapping up some business, so he'll be here shortly. Gold sniping farmer, good to see you, my friend. Uh, so just wait for a few more to pop into the chat here. Let's see. So, GSF, how are things up on your end of the mitten? Yeah, blue collars in the house. How you doing, buddy? Hey, GSF, I understand, man. It never does any good to complain anyway. Nobody ever listens, and the ones that do, you wish wouldn't. One of these days, I'm going to get back up that way. As it's been a while. God, last time I was up in your neck of the woods, my son still had to ride in a booster seat in the back seat. So, and he's going to be 22 next month. So it gives you some kind of an indicator how long it's been. But it's beautiful country up that way. My ex-wife's aunt uncle lived in Empire over on Glen Lake there. And I mean, I didn't want to come home when we were up there visiting them. I mean, you can go sit out on your front porch in the morning, drink your morning coffee, and read the paper, looking across the highway there at Sleeping Bear Dunes, or you can go out the back door, walk off the patio, and about 10 feet away, you're in the lake. So, Kevin Hawthorne, good evening. Welcome. Like I said, Cranky's running a little bit behind. He'll be here soon. So, the star of the party. So, let's see here. Hey, Blue Collar, I hope you found some good stuff out there at the coin show. I know one of these days I'm going to get to some of those big ones. We had one here back right after Thanksgiving last fall. It was pretty big, but not as big as some of the ones I've seen you guys go to. So, if I ever hit the lottery, I'll have to come down and see you guys and go to that big one you guys have down there in Florida every year. So. Yeah, my biggest thing if I go up gold sniping farmers way is going to be hey, Jack Stacks. My biggest thing is going to be behaving myself if I go into Cherry Republic over there in Glen Arbor. I used to walk in there and it's like one of everything. So one of this, one of that. And for those of you who don't know what Cherry Republic is, this place up there, Traverse City area, that whole, northwest corner of the mitten is pretty much wine country and cherry country. And they actually have a store in this small town where everything they sell is made with cherries. Cherry barbecue sauce, cherry salsa. They even make their own cherry pop. Everything with cherries in it. It's all so good. So, let's see. Hey, Blue Collar, I'm working on it, man. Let me get all mended up down here first, and we'll figure it out. I know my son likes to do trips with dad, and all I got to do is all I got to do is say, hey, we should go here. He's like, let's do it, Dad. So we're making a hot sauce with bourbon smoke. Oh man, that sounds good. That really sounds good. So, but yeah, everybody. Thank everybody again. I know it was kind of a crazy week for me. And yeah, not the way I wanted to spend last weekend or last week. Yeah, it's bad enough I work at a hospital, but to have to spend all that time in one as a patient. But we're on the mend. We're doing what we're supposed to do, paying attention to what the doctor says. I kind of redeveloped some bad habits. I've gotten rid of those again, and now realizing just how much you gotta even more so now than before for some reason, gotta watch what you eat and what you put in your body. So they're trying to get some things under control, and part of that is due to what happened to my foot. So yeah, we're making progress. It's going to be a slow road back, but I'm ready. So Mike is in the house. All right. So, let's see here. Yeah, blue collar. I know. To quote Colin Farrell in the movie SWAT, I started using mine like an amusement park again. So that's got to get all that squared away. So, and I'm working on it. I'm behaving again. So let's see. There we go. Let me get this box out of the way. I think we have a Cranky. Hey, there's Cranky.
Michi. How are you, my friend? You how are you doing? You doing good? I probably missed
I'm doing good. I'm one of those ones where I'm constantly on the go. So, I've got kind of frustrating not being able to go here, go there, do whatever. And I'm not saying it because he's my son, but my son has been a saint through this whole thing. When they discharged me Wednesday, he came and got me, and got me home, made sure that we had what we needed, and I said, hey, you know what? I hate to do this to you, but can you go to the grocery store for me? He's like, yeah, Dad, give me a list. Okay, he went, did the grocery shopping, and he ran a couple errands for me yesterday too. And not even a bat and an eye about it. And I was like, hey man, sorry to make you do all this extra stuff because I'm independent. And he says, he's like, Dad, how many years did you do everything for me? It's my turn. So yeah, he's a good kid. Like, I can't call him a kid anymore.
Yeah, you can. You'll always be able to call him a kid.
He'll still be my baby. But
you got a good one. You got a good one there.
He's gonna be 22 next month, and still likes hanging out with Dad. Yeah, so
that's cool.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just a lot of when you have multiple doctors and they don't communicate, and one thinks the other did something, and then they both think the third one did it, and all this other stuff. So I see my new PCP tomorrow for the first time in his office. I've seen him plenty of times while I was in the hospital, and then that's tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon, I see the surgeon, and he's probably, unless my visiting nurse got a hold of him, is probably going to lose his mind when I walk in, and I've still got the same dressings on I had when I get discharged from the hospital.
I seriously should have you. All you'd had to do say the word. I would have come up there and taken care of them dressings for you.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I know how to do it too. The only problem is where this thing's at. It's right in the middle of the ball of my foot.
Yeah.
So, so you got to kind of stand on your head to see what you're doing, so you do it right. And I just hit. Like I said in the last couple videos I did. This guy is just a master of his craft. He's a magician, because I went through this a little over 5 years ago, the first time, and I really back then should have lost my foot. But he's like, no, we're not doing that. And by the grace of God, even after this second one, I still have my foot. And but the communication between the care providers is lacking. And I know, like I told Cranky when I talked to him, his visiting nurse came out Saturday to see me, and she had no orders for wound care, so she couldn't even touch the dressings because she doesn't have an order for it. And now my surgeon told me that as long as I have this god awful shoe on, I can walk. Just don't go trying to walk the grocery store or go to the mall or anything like that. And she said, well, it says here that you're supposed to walk assisted. Okay, well, if I'm supposed to walk assisted,
it's a good thing you're here.
There's no walker. There's no cane. There was no order for him. And the one that really gets me is, nowadays they're getting away. Anybody that's had somebody in their family that was or is diabetic, and is familiar with the syringes and all that stuff. Well, these are the new norm. Okay. But as our big chain pharmacies here in Michigan, they'll fill the prescription for these, but how you supposed to inject it into your body without the needles that go on the end of the pens? Oh, you have to have a separate script for those. Well, nobody thought to write a script for the needles. Thank God we had some extra ones here.
Man, I tell you what a travesty. Well, Mike in the chat here has said, how you doing, Cranky? I just want to forewarn everybody here. I want you to get a nice big box of popcorn and a tasty beverage, because I'm going to tell you all about my day.
There's my tasty beverage. And I just ate, so I'm good.
I want y'all to settle in, because you guys ain't going to believe the day that me and Miss Lori have had here today. And Michi, I'm glad your surgery went well. Yes. All things considered and everything, it was such a surprise for you. But between you and me, with this rash of surgeries, the way today's gone, I'm a little concerned about this turning into a surgery for rash in the near future, for either one of us. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man! I'm sorry I was late, buddy.
No, you're good. You're good.
This day, really seriously, I don't have any days in recent recollection that I can honestly compare this day to. It has been an absolute nightmare. I told Michi when I told him I was going to be a little bit late that this has been the day from hell, and I do not want to spend eternity in hell. Today made me decide that. So maybe there's a blessing in this to some degree. I don't know. It's just been something else. But yeah. So when you're ready to hear about the day, I'll take you back about 2 weeks, and we'll start there.
There you go. Oh, before I forget, because I don't want to leave anybody. I don't want to leave anybody out. Being Becky, hi. I've been saying hi to everybody in the chat. I missed her.
Yeah,
I don't want to miss anybody.
I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Well, some guy named Michi was here at like 5:30. So I don't know.
Oh, Michi.
I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Now all of a sudden I've got
GSF's here or was here. I know sometimes he has to duck out. But he's
how about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
And where are we at here? Jack Stacks, Blue Collar, Being Becky. The Cranky Stacker is here somewhere too.
Mike is here. Yep.
Kevin Hawthorne was here. Mike's
Oh,
here.
hi, Kevin. I didn't get to say hi to Kevin Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it it all started, and I'll tie this into it. I'll tie this into today, but 2 weeks ago I had that eye lens replacement in my eye, and the surgery went pretty well.
Yep.
And I literally went from 1200, which is legally blind vision, to 20/30, and so everything's gone pretty well, and I'm healing well, and I'm doing exactly what he told me to do. But I say that because I was given a plastic eye cover to sleep in. I don't know why they have you sleep in that, but I was supposed to sleep in that for 2 weeks, and just a flat, kind of a teardrop shaped, pear shaped lens. And I guess maybe because you like rub your eyes or something when you're sitting
that's what I was gonna say.
put
Probably
pressure
when you
on
wake
it.
up in the morning.
So I got about 3 days into it, and I lost it. It just disappeared. It was gone, like vaporized, vanished. So I took a pair of safety glasses, me being the crafty guy that I am, took a pair of safety glasses and snapped the earpiece off and cut it in half and filed it down and put some tape on it, and sure enough, boy, it worked just fine. So I made it through the period. But we had a few days after the surgery, we had some drain problems in the basement. So we had this guy out, and he snaked the drain, and it was one of the mains down in the basement. So he snaked the drain. Everything seemed to be going all right. Well, a couple of days later, we started having trouble with the evacuation of one of the toilets in the house. And it would go. I'd plunge this thing and I'd snake it, and then it would work all right for a little bit, and then it would back up again. So it was like this going on for 2 weeks. So today, Miss Lori starts out handling the annual medical policy changes, all that sort of thing, just dealing with all of that sort of thing by phone. I'm sure you're aware of how that is.
Oh yeah.
It just an absolute nightmare, and put on hold and call this number, and just it was going horribly for her. And so she started doing that, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm past my 2-week period. I can lift 30 pounds again. So I'm gonna pull that toilet and see if we can get the water to go down there. So I started pulling that, and I got it pulled. Everything was fine. I got everything. I ran the snake through it again. I had her down there looking to see what was going on. There wasn't anything that we could see. And it's like, it's got to be in the top of the line. It just has to be. So put that on hold for a little bit, and she bought a refrigerator again about two weeks ago, and brand new, $1,700 for this stupid thing. Is as basic a thing as you could get. So the water filter has been leaking, so we haven't been able to put groceries on the top shelf because we have to there's a wet towel there all the time. It just runs. And so what the hell? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. She's pointing through the glass here. Anyway, so I forgot where I was at. Oh, you're right.
Wet towel on the
yeah. So the water's running, it's like really not happy at all. So she bought the extended warranty, and I'm going to tell you all this. It was through Nebraska Furniture Mart. Now, I don't know how much anybody knows about that, but that place does it's a Warren Buffett business, and they do. I mean, it's phenomenal. Unlike like millions and hundreds of millions through this place, I'm guessing a year. So we go down there, and this kid that gave me his business card told me to call him. So I called him last Thursday, and he said my days off are Thursday and Friday, but I'll get back to you if anything comes up and you need to call. So I waited 3 days. He didn't call. So I called again and got a customer service agent that well, Lori called or something, and I'm not going to repeat it, but it's a very bad word to some ladies, and she was hot because I called the number that that was on the brochure for the the LG. It's an LG refrigerator. The LG brochure had a number on it for customer
Right.
service in the U.S. and it said this is not a working number. So I called the customer service again at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and she said, "Well, I'll get you the number." Well, she gave me an email with the original invoice on it, and it didn't have a customer service number for LG on it. It had the number for the extended warranty company. Now I called that number, and the lady did very well for English as a second language. I was very happy with her as far as that goes, But so
Okay.
she ran me through this thing, like they had me unplug the refrigerator and this and that. And I'm like, you don't understand. It's not an electrical thing. It's a mechanical thing.
Right.
It's clearly a defect because this water filter pushes in and it's supposed to turn to lock it in place. Well, it doesn't do that. It does not do that. So I went through the whole. I was on the phone 49 minutes with these people, and about half of that was hold. So got
Oh yeah.
got into that, and as I was on hold with that, Lori was being such a sweetheart. She decided she would get me an egg. Now we went to a store called Shucks here, and it's a fresh seafood store, and it's really good fresh seafood in the heartland. So we went down there last weekend and got a few days ago and got a small jar of caviar. It was like $18 a jar, and it's like 2 tablespoons or something like that. Anyway, we got that because she had been to her sister and brother-in-law's to carve pumpkins and whatever with peanuts. So her sister-in-law had made deviled eggs, and they put a little spoonful of caviar on the top of the deviled egg. And it is, by the way, extremely good. But she was going to get me because things were going the way they were, she was going to get me a deviled egg, and got the eggs and the caviar out of the refrigerator and straight away dropped the caviar on the floor, the jar, and the jar went everywhere.
Of course.
Now she's laughing. Did you hear her?
she wasn't laughing earlier though.
No, she was not.
She created a couple new words.
And I dare say the dogs enjoyed caviar. So I'm not being snobbish or anything, but my dogs have had caviar, and so that we finally got all that cleaned up, and I got this lady, this supposed number from the lady on the phone, and she said, "Well, LG doesn't have any open service calls, so you'll have to call them yourself." And I said, "Well, I tried that; the number doesn't work." And she said, "Well, you'll have to just try again." Okay, so there's that just added to the steam on the steamroller today.
Sure did.
So I said, "Okay, I'm done." I grabbed the booklet, I grabbed the kid's business card, the invoice, and all that stuff, and I drove my happy ass down to Nebraska Furniture Mart. I do have a concealed carry, and I did leave it in the vehicle along with my fixed blade knife because I didn't want. I kind of figured this might get a little confrontational or heated, and I didn't want anybody to have any questions about what was going to happen. So I go in, The kid's supposed to be working today, and he was at lunch or something, and I said, well, let me just say this: you're probably going to want to get a manager straight away, because I'm not going to repeat this twice. So I had to deal with this guy, this manager at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and I was really fully ready. And I told the guy later, I'm ready to just have you guys come pick this up, because it's clearly a mechanical issue. It's a defective issue, whatever. I either want a crew out there to fix or replace that water unit, or bring it back to your store and give me my money back, and I'll go somewhere else, because I'm not going. Because I went through everything with this guy, and he's like, man, that's just terrible. That's not right. And he tried to call the number, and it says not a working number. So, yeah. Anyway, that was the beginning of that. Now, I will say for this guy, his name is Brett, and shout out to Brett, one of the managers at Nebraska Furniture Mart, because he rapidly diffused the situation in that, listening to everything I had to say about it and explain it from a consumer's point of view. He just said, I'll just send you out a new one. I'm like, dude, it's a $1,700 refrigerator. It's about a 10-minute fix. Just send somebody out to fix it. Now, it's easier for me to just send you out a new refrigerator. Okay. So that is going to be that's going to be sent out Wednesday, all for a $10 part on this thing. It's unbelievable. I'm so old school, Michi, that I don't understand. I mean, you're talking sheer volume here, but what a society we live in. That's just a testament to that. That was a mess. So I get back. Oh, I forgot to say, I had called a plumber, and he was supposed to be here about the time I took off. So I get back, and the plumber comes about 15 minutes later. So they're here about 5 minutes, and I want to show you what they pulled out. They ran their heavy duty snake through the unit that was sitting on the floor.
Let me guess what they found. Yep.
They found in there this eye guard. It's a very, very expensive eye guard. It's about $285 eye guard. Free with surgery.
Right.
Yeah, that was in there. And Lori flipped shit, dude. Forgive me for. So I am like way in the doghouse, and and in the hole this month.
Yeah.
So yeah, that came out of the bottom of that. So yeah. And then Lori said, well, I'm going to cook the cod that we got at the store. And she didn't have any buttermilk, and she didn't have any French fries. So I had just gotten back from the store for running something for her, and had to go back again.
I was going to say, you went back.
Oh yeah,
no question.
Absolutely. Are you kidding with the record I got today? Yeah, Farmer, gotta go. Thanks for coming in, man. I hope you caught that story. It's every bit of it true. But so that's
Farmer had to duck out. Blue collar had to duck out. 7 came in while you were telling us. 7, welcome. Sorry, not ignoring you.
Yeah, Mike. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, misery on me. We don't even know where to go. I feel like I've been beat about the head and shoulders today. I really do. Like physically beat about the head and shoulders. Unbelievable. It's like I can't. I'm afraid to ask what else could happen, because you know what happens when you do that.
Well, here I can tell you one that's going on. Going on right now. I shouldn't be laughing because I'm a Lions fan, but I'm also not privileged enough to pay $400 plus a ticket to go to the game tonight.
Good
not
Lord.
like I could anyway. Apparently Ticketmaster, and this is something to keep in mind if you guys go to concerts or sporting events where you have to buy your tickets through Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster gets their online service through Amazon Web Services.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what's down right now?
Uh-huh.
And people are not having trouble because they don't. Well, and this only works, and I shouldn't be laughing because not everybody has an iPhone. But if they didn't put their tickets in their wallet on their phone,
oh
they
my
can't
gosh.
access the barcode. They can't access the barcodes to scan their tickets to get into the stadium.
Oh my gosh. That's major, dude. That's huge.
Yeah.
Matter of
And
fact,
they're-
at Nebraska Furniture Mart, they said Amazon was down, the credit bureaus were down, my bank was down, and something else. I can't remember what else it was, but Michi, that's a big problem for them.
Yeah. Well, that's the only good thing I can say about my bank. My bank didn't go down, and I don't say anything good about my bank at all. Yeah, because they just some of the shenanigans they pulled because they came in here and bought out a small, like back in the day when you had like small like neighborhood banks. And down here by me, because I live in Monroe County, you had Monroe Bank and Trust, and First Merchants Bank came in and bought them out.
Mike, we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you.
Pardon my French, but everything went to shit. Just everything, and they did. Well, this is the way we do. Well, yeah. Well, you got a lot of. And especially the branch I go to, it's all farmers. Next town over, it's all farmland around me. So everybody's coming in there as farmers, and you got a farmer that walks in and wants to take out, $1,100. They got to play 20 questions under the guise of the Patriot Act to take their money out of it. Well, what do you want? Why do you need this much money? Because I want to bury it in my backyard.
All right, Michi, you know what? That's how Great Britain started a year ago. You remember me talking with 365 and Stack Collector about them not, them having being able to place selective orders with their when they were buying silver and gold.
Oh yeah.
That's how they started there, and look at them now. They're on to digital ID. I hope and pray they just barnstorm whoever needs to be out of there and they get them out.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed now you don't, I'm saying this very cautiously while knocking on wood. The whole Fed Now thing went away.
Yeah.
Because I will, and two things I can say good about three things I can say good about my bank was that they wanted nothing to do with that Fed Now system. So that's number two. Number one, they didn't go down today. Number two, they didn't want anything to do with Fed Now. And back in 2020, when our jobs were being threatened if we didn't do a certain thing, they told Uncle Sam to go kick rocks. We're not doing that.
Good for them.
And didn't require their people to do it. And good on them because, if we were in Canada, those of us that were forced to do that and now have permanent side effects to it, if we were in Canada, we'd be getting a check from the government every month, a substantial check from the government every month. Because they did a story. CBC did a story. I want to say this was mid 2021. A pilot for Air Canada. They forced everybody in Canada to get them. And this is a guy that used to run triathlons and mountain climbing over in foreign countries, and I mean just a health nut. And you want to keep your job, you better go do that. And he did it because he needs a paycheck like everybody else. Yeah. And within 6 months, he's in a wheelchair, can't move. He's all his joints are curled up. His wife's got to do everything for him. He's sharp as a tack and can still have a conversation with you, but his whole body's permanently PO'd, and he gets like a mid 4-figure check from the Canadian government every month as, kind of like, oops, we screwed up. Don't sue us. We'll give you money to not sue us. And of course, over here they're like, well, the science. Like,
nobody was forced to. Well, yeah, they were, because one of the best nurses I ever knew in my life had to quit.
Yeah. Well, that's like, and even one step further, those of us that work in healthcare, they let everybody else throw the face coverings in the garbage, late 2021 here, at least here in Michigan, they did. And those of us that work in hospitals, we weren't allowed to take ours off until like April of 23. Literally,
yeah.
When I got cleared to go back to work after my neck, and they lifted the mandate for the face coverings in healthcare facilities on Friday, and I went back to work Monday. So,
wow.
And that was April of 23.
Did you think it was kind of funny that that both in that period that both patient and medical staff were masked? I mean,
they went so far as because we in my line of work, we sometimes have to go hands-on, and not everybody that had it was the image that they give you of being on a ventilator, 4-point soft restrained to a bed, and turn around. There were some that were just as functional as we were. They just had it. And they want to fight because they don't want to be in the hospital. And, we've got papers to see. You can't well, we got to go in and fight with them. We actually had respirators that we had to put on. But then they tell us, well, if it's confirmed that they have it, you have to put one of those paper masks over the respirator, because there's that little hole where it lets your air out. You had to put a mask over that hole while you went in there and fought with them.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Insane.
Yeah. Well, they've already got it. How am I going to give it to them while they already got it?
Well, this digital ID thing here is just an offshoot of that. I mean, it literally is. There's so much going on with that like globally. You heard about Vietnam and all the 38 million accounts they closed. Well, you can have your money back. It's not gone, but you have to get a digital ID. Well, no, they don't want to be a part of that. And
it's like, why?
Yeah,
why do you have to track us?
It's funny too, and the smarter as time goes by and the smarter people get, they see the ruse. I mean, you can see clearly that the government of the UK is going, well, it's to keep the immigrants from taking jobs and working illegally. Bullshit. Come on, guys. Like, you're doing us a favor by requiring us to get an ID to work as England, British citizens. No.
Well, and the thing is, if you've seen any of the news coverage that they've done over there, some of the immigrants are actually taking over, and the monarchy is letting them do it.
I saw King Charles, shortly after he did a public appearance to dedicate a mosque. I saw him in his kingly robe, I think, doing saying how bad the situation has got and how the patriots should be stood up for by this government and this and that. And I'm sorry. I guess I don't fully understand his role, because I know they're more or less just a figurehead, but everybody reveres the royal family and the king and queen ship so much. You can be a little more genuine than that. I mean, again, it's one of those. To me, it seemed like let the peasants hear what they want, and then you guys go ahead and do what you're You know,
Yeah.
I don't get it, except that that's the time we live in, you know.
Yeah, and it's and we see it here, and especially here in Michigan. I mean, I grew up like not even 2 miles from the eastern border of Dearborn, and I know everybody's heard about all the
Yeah.
BS going on in Dearborn.
Yeah.
And Dearborn was at one time a community that everybody wanted to move to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now you've got a mayor that gets up there at a city council meeting, in public, and says, "I will launch a parade and celebration when you get out of Dearborn."
Yeah.
To an American-born, Dearborn-born and raised American citizen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, and I know I sent you that video, and the where there, and that was actually further away from where I grew up. That video I sent you, that was actually up on like West Warren and Wyoming, which is, I know you have no idea where I'm talking about.
No, it's right there by West Warren and
In
Wyoming.
Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just south
3
of
left
the
and a right.
well, I live just east of I grew up just east of the eastern border of Dearborn and the southwest side of Detroit. That video I sent you was on West Warren Avenue, which is just south of the northern border of Dearborn, where you go north about a half a mile and it turns back into Detroit. But people are finally realizing I grew up with that racket.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning. I mean, granted, they used to lay around and wait until 6 a.m. to do it. But, summertime, we didn't have air conditioning. You open the windows and put a fan in it. Depending on how hot it is, you either blow the air out or you blow the air in, whatever. And 6 a.m. every morning, that was what you heard. And I'm almost 2 miles away, and I could hear it like it was in my backyard.
Man.
And, now and you've got, and somebody brought up a good point, and this was actually one of the national independent media podcasters that brought it up. He says, people are complaining. Their Sorcerer Stan's in the house.
Hi, Sorcerer Stan.
They're filing noise complaints, which of course are going to fall on deaf ears because you have, and I'm not trying, I'm honestly not trying it, because I have friends that are Muslim, but even they don't agree with some of the stuff that goes on in their own religion. And it's because it's the way they were raised, it's the way their parents raised them. But you have a complaint against the Muslim religion and their loudspeakers outside their mosques, and you're filing those complaints with a police department that has a Muslim police chief. 50% of his command staff are Muslim, and 50% of his department is Muslim, and he works harder and harder every day to run the non-Muslims out of his department.
Yep. And they're getting it done.
And there's that where you've run everybody else out of 3/4 of Dearborn. And then I look at the city of Hamtramck, which I brought up before. Hamtramck was where all the Polish people settled when they came to the United States and came to Michigan. I mean, you go in there, you like Polish sausage, you like pierogi, you like any of like the Polish ethnic foods and that. You went to Hamtramck, to the little mom and pop markets on Joseph Campo and on Conant and Kniff and all that. And now, about the only thing Polish in Hamtramck now is Polish Village Restaurant, Polania Restaurant, and every year because they haven't run the Catholic Church out of there yet, they have a huge strawberry festival at St. Florian Parish every May. But
Yeah.
you go up and down Joseph Campo now, none of the signs are in English or Polish like they used to be. Well, and there's a Polish bakery there. Every once in a while, my son and I'll stop by there because he likes to get his Polish pastries and stuff. But we parked at the Polish market that's there, went into the Polish market, and walked the 2 blocks up to the bakery, and I had to double check and make sure I was still in Hamtramck.
Man.
And shockingly, back when the Pope John Paul did his American tour, Detroit was one of the stops, and he said Mass and Hart Plaza in downtown Detroit. He did 3 masses that day. He did one in Hamtramck, he did one in downtown Detroit at Hart Plaza, and then he did a third one, a huge one at the Silverdome in Pontiac. But they resurrected a monument in Hamtramck where they actually had the chapel set up where he did the mass in Hamtramck. Surprisingly, that monument has not been defaced. Then They also built a small little like flower garden on one of the corners there in the strip in downtown Hamtramck with a statue of him. Surprisingly, that has not been defaced.
Nice.
But I mean, there's that city is, I want to say, not even 2 square miles, and they've got 10 mosques within the city limits.
Holy smokes.
And they all blast their call to prayer at 5:30 every morning.
Yeah.
So all these people that lived in Hamtramck, all these places, they moved out to the suburbs. They moved out to the west side of Sterling Heights and the east side of Troy, and now they're getting run out of there now. And it's just, where does it stop?
Did you see the video today that it was like a British and I don't know whether it was in Scotland or England or what, but it was a British law enforcement questioning a guy on the street about wearing a Star of David necklace on his neck, and how disturbing it was, disturbing the peace of and being confrontational to some of the people on the street.
Everything offends people nowadays.
This is what we're coming to, and again, it's the times we live in. We're
my thing is expected. And maybe it's just the way I was raised. I will never ever fault you for where you were born, where you were raised, and they're just where you were born and raised sometimes determines what religion you are.
Yeah.
And it just, I would be more offended by an upside down cross or a pentagram or some of this weird stuff that's out there than I would by Star of David.
Yeah.
But
did you see well, no, you didn't see it, but we just did you see we just watched a old black and white documentary about the Pioneer Brigade in World War II. Did you ever hear about that?
I may have. I don't remember.
It was German-born Jews that obviously there was about 110,000 total, I think, but excuse me, they got basically pushed out, deported, whatever. They were German born and raised. I mean, they were German citizens. Their fathers and grandfathers fought in World War I for Germany. Right. They were patriots. They were Iron Cross winners and all that sort of thing. And on a dime, the day that Hitler was put into office, they just lost everything. So they got out. Right. They were fortunate enough to get out, and some of them made it to the UK, and some of them made it to the US, and they put a brigade of soldiers together that went back and basically were fighting their own countrymen. Some of the guys were kind of still sad about it, when they were interviewing a few of the veterans, it was like, these are my countrymen. These were my,
Right.
people I grew up with.
Yeah.
And they were more German than anything,
Right.
But that shows the level of depravity that government can go to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Well, I
everybody
was just,
jumped right on.
I was just talking to somebody about it the other day. I mean, even our own government and some of the stupidity that they pulled, like during World War II. My grandfather almost got court-martialed for allowing an African American sailor to sit at the same table as him.
Yeah.
And at chow time.
Mm-hmm.
And chief, you know better. The guy needs to eat. Well, they need to go over there. No, he's fine right where he is.
And good for him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that the Army was segregated right up until that point.
It was, and they, and I tell people, I'm sure there's a lot of inaccuracies in it because it was Hollywood, but watch the movie Red Tails.
Yeah.
That tells a lot. And or even if you go back and you watch oh God, what was the name of that one? I can't remember. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, but with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robert De Niro.
Oh, with the diver.
Yeah, where he's the Navy salvage diver. Yeah. But yeah, that
And doesn't it crack you up that these little mamby-pamby winches and biatches are complaining about how bad things are over here? You guys,
well, you know what? I gotta tell you,
generation.
You know what Saturday was?
Yeah,
around our country.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get out, and everybody had to get out and wave their signs and cry and whine and no kings.
Yeah. We need
Funniest
no
video
queens.
I saw that
no
saw
queens.
All day Saturday. Well, funniest video I saw all day Saturday. They took one of the I can't remember whether it was our NBC, CBS, or ABC affiliate here in Detroit that was down by Michigan Central Station and had their camera just set up on the tripod, just like kind of filming the crowd and what they were doing. They weren't interviewing anybody. It was just like taking like stock footage, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this parade of about 25 tow trucks go by, and they're all flatbed tow trucks. So they got one up on the platform and one on the hook in the back, towing out all the protesters' vehicles that parked illegally.
Yeah. And I look, I don't knock anybody for their point of view. But if you escalate, it's going to escalate. And if you're going to break the law, then there should be consequences. Think what you want to think. You're wrong.
Yeah.
But
they just I actually, because I have Facebook. I actually probably irritated some of my coworkers when I put up the thing on my Facebook that said we already have a No King's Day. It's called the 4th of July.
Yeah, there you go.
So
that's right.
And I know back here somewhere, Jack even said that the one and only Charles screwed up their coins by putting his face on them. That's why if you look at my well, I mean, they're not from the UK, but if you look at my silver maples, I stopped buying anything post, what was it, 23 or 24 when they started putting him on.
Yeah,
I won't buy those. You keep them. I mean, I'm not I wasn't a big fan of the Queen either. I wasn't a big fan of the Queen either, but I really can't stand Charles, and I think that part of it might have to do with the way he treated Diana. But
he he's always been pretty, and you got to admit that there's a lot less to work with there as far as an
Right.
image on a coin than there
Well,
was with
and
Queen.
you know what?
I,
And this, I like I said, I don't live over there. I've never been there. I hope one day to be able to come over and see it, because the UK, Scotland, Ireland, that's where all my family came from. That's my ancestry is over there. I would love to see where my family came started. But I think, and Jack can correct me if I'm wrong, I think things will change once Charles is gone and William gets the crown. Because I see him even now when you see him out and about, he's the male version of his mom.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
He actually has a heart and gives.
There's some
and
compassion there, but
Yeah.
but he's still a royal, and I don't think he's going to have anything to work with by the time it gets to him. I really don't. I think they're cooked.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, by the way, Jack Stacks. Come on over, buddy. There's plenty of room in Nebraska. We have less people than cows in the western counties of this state, and it probably take you longer to drive to the western part of the state than it does to get across. Well, I know it does. Hell, it's 8 hours across this state, 10 hours if you're going all the border to border across Nebraska.
And Jack brought up something about the let me go back.
Hi, Joseph Lopez. Sorry, go ahead.
Some councils in England are stopping pubs flying the England flag for the World Soccer Cup in your America.
Yeah, good luck with that.
In case it offends foreign people in England. And I would hope that's not the case over here, because we've always taken great strides over here. And if you go past somewhere like the Ford World headquarters in Dearborn, before they move it, the one that's there now, they flag for every country on the planet is flying high out there in front of Ford World headquarters. And that's been that way since I'm 52. That's been there as long as I can remember. Even the countries we don't get along with, the flags are up there because they're on the planet.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing downtown. The Renson used to have the Renaissance Center. These guys love their sirens. Sorry for the background noise, guys. The Renaissance Center, international everything. When they had the G8 convention here in Detroit way back in the mid 90s, it was at the Renaissance Center. And it's one of the symbols of Detroit. When they talk about Detroit and you see the Detroit skyline, the first thing you see is the Renaissance Center. They used to fly every country out in front, high up. Obviously, unless something happened, and unless something happened and we had to lower the American flag to half staff, well, of course, every other country's flag comes down to half staff with it. A little bit lower because, we are in the United States, but
what a job that would be.
Because this country wouldn't exist without the people from every country that there's a flag up those flagpoles for.
Yep.
So, and haters gonna hate.
Yeah, absolutely. CNC Nitro, how you? Yeah. Well, good luck with the flag thing here. I mean, and that's a major difference between the more I watch about all these documentaries and everything, the more Europe is really closely tied. I mean, what what goes in one country, soon will be at another. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
a European mindset. Uh, but we have a Second Amendment,
Right.
and nobody else does. And that's a big thing. It's a factor whether you like it or not. It
Yeah.
is. And God bless America. But
Well,
what do you think of what do you think of this? Um, I I heard a statement. Somebody said uh, if you've had taxes taken out of your paycheck, the government isn't closed.
right. Yeah. Because the IRS is still working to make sure that they get their money out of you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there was a big thing today on the news, the local news here, where all these food kitchens are going to be, or and food pantries are going to be overrun because they've only got enough money to pay SNAP benefits till the end of the month.
Hmm.
And I can only speak for Michigan, uh, and I'm trying to figure a way to put this in. And there are people that genuinely need the help.
Hmm.
Right? There's no question that there are people that genuinely need the help. But I will go back to, and this is many moons ago. I walked into a 7-Eleven. Yeah, I'm on my way to work. First thing I do, I walk into 7-Eleven, and this is before I was educated on the finer points of this thing called coffee.
Yeah.
I would go into 7-Eleven and get my large coffee with my foo-foo cream in it, and I'll grab a couple pops to put in the fridge at work, and snacks, whatever, to go on my lunch. And I'm standing there at the counter, or standing there in line waiting for my chance to pay. And here's this individual in front of me, just got her hair done, her fingers and tootsies done, and she's got a Coach purse and a rock on her finger the size of my head, and she's buying Monster Energy drinks and pop and chips and the basically
Yeah.
all junk food. And getting her cigarettes, and she busts out $100 bill to pay for the cigarettes, and then busts out what we call in Michigan, we call it bridge card, to pay for everything else.
Yeah.
And then she goes out and gets into a brand new Land Rover. Still got the temp tag on the back window, so she just got it. Brand new Land Rover, and she's paying with a bridge card.
Wow.
But you've got people that are disabled, or they have dependent children, and
Mm-hmm.
back then jobs weren't very prominent, that need the help, and they got to jump through rings of fire and hoops and cartwheels and everything else just to get $100 a month in food stamps, or $100 on their bridge card so they can feed their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, the more you need it, the less they give you, it seems.
And they're talking about, oh well, these food pantries are going to be overrun. I understand they're trying to revamp the system. At the same time, we've got one side that wants to add all of this crap into the bills to get the government back up and running.
And we're back to foreigners as an issue.
And we're they want to pay for wars we shouldn't even be involved in.
Yep.
Okay? And this is nothing against the good people of Ukraine and the people that are being held prisoner in Russia. They want to blow each other off the planet. Let them. It's not our problem.
Yeah.
Not our problem. Now, if they start screwing with our allies, like Poland's right there, and the other countries that are taking in the refugees, okay, now we might have to get involved in it. Right?
Yeah, I gotta tell you about the only one I would stand up for right now is Poland. The rest of the rest of NATO can go pound sand as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And and then we've got this crap going on down on down in around South America, and that where you got Colombia trying to pick a fight with us because we're killing their drug trade.
Yeah. Well,
in Venezuela, you want to send a cigarette boat up into Miami full of dope, yeah, good luck.
Did you see that one cigarette boat they blew up? There was about 2 days of just absolute uh people writhing and screaming about, how we shouldn't
Yeah.
be doing that. And they showed the rescue
Well,
pictures of it, and they were floating
yeah,
on bales of cocaine until
right.
the boat
Yeah.
took them out of the water. It's like, what?
Well, they,
Uh,
and the other
you
thing
guys need
too,
new heroes.
I kind of laugh because, especially up here, we see the Coast Guard choppers all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
uh, we're on our side of the state. It's an international border.
Hmm.
We see the Coast Guard flying up and down the shoreline all times of the day and night. It's pretty orange helicopters. And that I still laugh at the people that freak out because, oh my God, I just saw a border patrol truck on Dixie Highway. What are they doing there?
Yeah.
Because once you get into the city, Dixie Highway becomes Jefferson Avenue, and Jefferson, Dixie Highway, old U.S. Turnpike is a part of it, still has the street sign for, runs all the way from Toledo, so Lake Erie, all the way up the Detroit River, all the way up to Port Huron. So essentially, where you go from Lake St. Clair to the St. Mary's River to Lake Huron in Port Huron. It runs all that distance. So yes, the board you're going to see the border patrol on Jefferson, on North Dixie Highway, where.
Yeah.
But they're like, and I said something to somebody a while back about there's a special unit that you don't hear a lot about, and that's by design. It's called the Blue Lightning Strike Force. And this is a multi-agency drug task force down in Florida that's made up of, and I'm using pre 9/11 terms because a lot of them have been consolidated into one agency now. U.S. Immigration, U.S. Customs, U.S. Border Patrol, U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy, and somebody else. And their primary job is to keep the dope from coming in from South America by way of Miami. And I said something to somebody about the Coast Guard choppers being armed down there. Oh, the Coast Guard choppers aren't armed. They don't do that. Go ahead and get out there on the water and do something illegal and have one of their choppers come after you. And those Dolphin helicopters normally only have, if you're standing looking at the nose of the chopper, the left side, as you're looking at it, has a sliding door. Well, the ones in Miami have sliding doors on both sides, like a Huey.
Yeah.
And when they come after you, those sliding doors come open, and you see those Barrett 50 cals come out the door.
Yeah.
That's like, good luck. I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
And y'all want to sell that stuff, sell it down in your country. Don't bring it to ours.
Well, that's just it, and part, there's people make the argument, well, there's a demand here. Well, yeah, I mean, it's easy to get, and there,
Yeah.
this is a relief in, I don't know how do I want to say that? Our society is such that everybody needs relief somehow, relief,
Yeah.
whatever. It's medicate yourself, and whatever. I'm not crazy about having to deal with all that stuff, but is what it is. Um, I had my youthful indiscretions when I was in high school, but
See, I was always afraid of getting caught. I used to tell people my mom was a canine dog in a previous life.
I actually have a funny story regarding that. I don't know why. Statute of limitations is probably out, but
well, when I had my gallbladder out, apparently I had to have it out the old-fashioned way, and apparently I started to wake up like 4 or 5 times on the table while they were doing it. And a couple days after the surgery, the surgeon walks in and he sits down on the edge of my bed and he says, "You got to level with me." I'm like, okay. He says, "Are you sure you never dabbled with anything when you were younger?" I looked him dead in the face. I said, "Doc, you met my mom the other day, right?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, yeah." I said, "Okay, I rest my case." Nothing got past that woman, so there was no way I was gonna, sneak a hit off of something or whatever without getting caught.
Well, you grew up a little different than I. Everything got past my mom, and I had a sister in the class of '69, and a brother in the class of '71, and so I was, I was trained in the art of parental deception by the time I got to high school, and yeah, there's a funny story. I'll save that for another time because it's pretty funny. I'll tell you about it, but we'll share that another night. But it involves prom. Uh, yeah, I'll tell you another night. I got it's it's pretty humorous, and by the way, I was rather proud of myself in this situation. So we'll just leave it hanging on that, and maybe somebody will come back and hear that story one of these times because it's pretty humorous.
Well, the only funny one I got for my prom is, I I always had a curfew, especially if I was driving my mom's car, which I was that night. And got to have it home by certain time. So I asked my mom prom, on the day of the prom. So, Mom, what's my curfew tonight? She says, just be home before the sun comes up. Okay, that was like, what? Okay, oh, okay, maybe she's finally starting to trust me. So we go to prom, we have a blast. We had our big group that just, we did everything together. And we ended up leaving prom and going to, somebody knew somebody in power at the Pizza Hut we all used to go to, and they shut Pizza Hut at 11 o'clock but kept it open for us, so we had the whole place to ourselves.
Somebody in power at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, like a district manager or area manager, something like that. So we're sitting at 1 o'clock in the morning, smashing pizza and drinking Pepsi and having a good old time. And we're like, all right, everybody's starting to get worn out. We all got stuff to do in the morning. So I take my date home and I get to my house. Now, when we left from my house to go to prom, her mom, my mom's best friend, my step grandmother, and two of the neighbors were sitting on our front porch because they all wanted to see us leave for prom. So I get home now and get out of the car and I look up. They're all still sitting there. So I grab my tuxedo jacket out of the back of the car. And oh my God, why are you home already? What's wrong? I look at my watch and I'm like, it's 3:45 in the morning. Oops.
Did you bust them?
Oops.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, the girl I took to prom, her mom was supposed to go. She had an appointment that she totally missed. And she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just have to take care of that later on today. But yeah, it was like they didn't move. It's like, you talk about us kids not paying attention. Jeez.
Yeah, they're living it on the wild side.
Oh, yeah.
I can't sit in any one place that long.
And the thing is, my step grandmother, who was usually in bed by 7 o'clock every night, was still sitting out there on the porch with them, too.
That's funny.
That was back when you could still sit on your front porch and have a good old time in the old neighborhood. So.
Yeah. Drive-by wasn't even a term yet.
It was, but not our part.
Oh,
you had to go more toward downtown to get that.
So I saw your little finger in the screen there. I like that little pirate there. Where'd you get him?
Guy.
Yeah.
This is the extent of my Halloween decor. I do better at Christmas, but this is actually, I got this from 007, or as we know him on here, Phoenix Coins.
Yeah, you did a video on that, didn't you?
Yeah, he was doing one of his I gotta clear off the dusk things, and got it for a steal. I'm like, ooh, Halloween decoration. Yeah, he 3D printed that.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I
So
remember your video now that
yeah, my
it
son
looked
saw this.
smaller when it was sitting back there.
My son saw this. He goes, well, I guess I got to up my game. I got to get a better printer because I bought him one for. Oh, he wanted one for high school graduation, and I guess it's not what he thought it was. So he says, yeah, he goes, eventually I got to get another one because he's all about this, me starting to pour in the spring, and it's like, yeah, Dad, he's like, he says, you think of it, I'll print it.
Yeah, there you go. I got all kinds of stuff I could get him to print.
Yeah.
I need to
Well,
actually do that.
he's watched several of Silverpunk's videos,
Yeah.
where he'll 3D print what he wants to make, and then
Silverpunk is awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way where.
Well, and SGT too.
SGT's really kicking butt too with that. So I know I missed his comment right at the end of our last live. He says, about coming and hanging out with us. So one of these Mondays, I'll extend him an invitation. If
have him come in.
Yeah, I'll extend him an invitation. Have him come up, hang out with us, because he's a cool guy. He has fun. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to see if I can get Connor, my son, to make a little one of these.
Oh,
to try
like the little Jesuses around town.
Yeah, but see, I just want to do like Silverpunk does sometimes, and just push it down in there, and then grab this masking tape and pull it back out, and just open pour it as opposed to clamping everything shut. I want to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not guessing.
You get a different back on that every time for sure.
Right.
That's when you start to get the ripples. You need there's a new series for you, Little Michi.
Right.
About town there. You can plant them all over and
there you go. Where Michi Mish, where are you?
There you go. There you go.
No, I don't want to. That was trademarked by Thule, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's. Well, let me show you my Halloween decorations real quick here. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Here it is.
Okay. Aha. Capsules.
That's it.
Capsules.
I have an empty capsule.
Uh-huh.
Representing a 0 for for Halloween decorations. I just don't do it. I never have really gotten excited about it, except
Halloween's not my thing. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to like to, dress up and go out and act silly for the night. And about the time I decided I was too big for it was when we got to the point where the kids were having to take their candy to the police mini station up on Verner Highway to get their candy scanned for metal, because they had these idiots that were sticking needles and razor blades and stuff in the candy.
Yep.
But it's and it's kind of fun. A lot of kids, they don't do it anymore. Now what we do, or a lot of people now are taking their kids to these trunk or treats where they they can trust who they're getting candy from. Like we do one at work. Unfortunately I missed ours because I was in the hospital. But I got to stand there or sit in a chair and look out the window and watch him do the one at the hospital, which is one of our hospitals that I was in. And I felt really bad for this one kid, because I'm assuming he thought he was really cool. These inflatable costumes that some of the kids wear, they got one where you look like a sumo wrestler, the dinosaurs or whatever. This kid comes, I'm watching him, and of course I'm a long distance away, come bebopping through. I'm looking down there, and I said, wow, that's Donald Trump. Kid gets in line, and this guy behind him with his kids reached out, and I'm assuming did something, because all of a sudden this kid's costume deflated and he couldn't get it to go back up.
Oh,
I was like, now that's a jerk.
Yeah.
But at least in the case of the trunk or treats, you know what you're getting, you know who you're getting it from, because all the people giving it out are people that work at the hospital, and they're not going to hurt your kid.
Yeah.
So, or poison your kid.
Wesley
around.
had a costume one year. He was a little hobo, and he had a little stick in the bandana, you know, the little hobo pack.
Yep.
And he had a sign. That's what really made they had like a 5 o'clock shadow on his face, and
Oh yeah.
his little sign said, "We'll work for candy. Anything helps. God bless."
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Oh yeah.
Well, Michi, I
Yeah,
think I probably ought to get on over here and feed the. Oh, they look like they've passed out from hunger now.
Oh no.
Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
Out in the.
Oh yep.
Marty the Wonder Dog's still alive. Shoot.
Oh well, yeah. We've been at it for about an hour and 20. We'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah, I hope everything continues to go well with you, and
well, like I said,
my concern on that was your PCP was needing to be.
She is a thing of the past, and I learned some things while I was in the hospital. The fact that because like I said, this is the second time I've had to use the surgeon services, and he deemed her completely useless 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it's got nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It's just she treats her patients like science experiments.
Yeah.
And
not cool.
Right. Yeah. You walk in and you tell her, "Hey, I'm feeling this way, and I'm the doctor. I know what you need. Yeah, I need you to take me off this medication that's making me sick."
Yeah.
But the new guy, like I said, I see him. Actually, I won't see him tomorrow. I'll see his NP tomorrow. But that's just that. It's gonna be mostly paperwork and just setting up like a baseline for everything with my health. And then the next time I go, I'll see him. And then tomorrow afternoon, I see the surgeon, and hopefully he's got good things to say because I've been doing what I'm told. So,
yep, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not going up to the mall or down to the other mall south of us. I'm not. I got my son making my grocery runs because I can't walk Meyer as much as I'd love to because that's just my thing. Yeah, but I told him I may have to make
back.
I'm gonna tell my son when he gets here. He's actually coming down tonight so he can be here to take me to the early appointment in the morning. And tell him, hey, you know what? After we get done at the surgeon, we need to go to Meyer. But you know what? You're gonna have to get me one of them old man carts.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
And that's if they don't play like they used to play, where your ability to use the carts is based on age or body weight.
Oh, shut up! It's like,
well, no, there are not
tell
that
them
I go to Walmart. Now that I don't go to Walmart for anything anymore, but
tell them to shut up.
There was a time where Walmart would do that because you got these, snot-nosed teenagers that would grab all the little buggies there, and they're zipping around, playing Fast and the Furious through the store with them. And I actually caught a lady in mid-fall. She was on crutches and an amputee, and it was on crutches. She hadn't gotten cleared to get her prosthetic yet, and she's hobbling around Walmart with her husband doing the grocery shopping on crutches, and she got tired. She couldn't hang on anymore. She started to go over. I caught her in mid-fall, and like, no, this is not cool. Because you're letting these kids do all this. Well, then they come out, well, can you prove that you need this cart? I don't know, maybe the shoe and the dressings and bandaging on my foot, maybe.
Yeah.
But 'tis what it is. So.
Well,
either that or you know what I'll do? I'll do like all the kids do. You know, if they won't give me a buggy, I'll just jump in the cart and sit in the cart.
yeah, there you go. Or
That'd
you
be
can
something to say. Have him take
phone
a
your
picture and
order
send
in
it
and
to you.
have them bring it out to you, by golly.
Have him take a picture and send it to you.
There you go. There
This
you
is
go.
what Michi looks like when he's at the grocery store. So,
All right, my friend. Oh, one final note today. The only good thing other than this last hour, I talked to Steve, aka Fish, and
okay.
some of the folks might remember that we were doing the study in Ephesians, and
Yes.
everything kind of busted up here. Long story short, I just couldn't get to it. To finish it up the way we wanted to finish it up. So we're in November sometime. We're gonna do like an overview of what the whole since it's been a while, what the whole book was about. It was the book of Ephesians. We're going to do that, and we're going to do an open panel thing. It's not just going to be, finishing the study on that. It's going to be just an open panel. I'm looking at, somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. We'll have people in, put a link out. Anybody wants to come in, be on panel, ask some questions, whatever. There'll be some, precious metals, um, just stuff, and that's how we want to do that. So that'll be coming up. Start looking for that in November, and we'll start doing some promos on it. But
Cool.
yeah, it's time, and
Yeah.
but he's such a good friend and such a
Yes.
a smart young man.
Yeah.
He really was a bright spot in the afternoon this afternoon, and I
Right.
got a lot of questions, even at my age, about things, and
Yeah.
you can be a believer or not be a believer. It don't matter.
Well,
It's the same
I
kind of
look at it
question
this
that
way.
every adult, Michi, I think,
Yeah.
probably at some point in time has some of the same questions I have right now,
Well,
so
and I look at it this way: the day we say we know it all,
mhm.
we're full of crap. Because you never know it all. There's only
Yep.
one being that knows it all, and it's not us.
Yeah, he's coming soon.
Right.
So hey,
Sooner
3D,
than everybody
I
thinks.
just did see 3D Woodworks.
Yep.
Hi there. And I am gonna have to bail on you. I'm sorry I
Yeah.
was late today, but
No, you're
I
good,
think
Cranky.
everybody kind
life
of got
happens off of here. So
the gist of and that's why I texted you that I don't want to spend eternity in hell, because today
right.
was
Well, that's why. Yeah,
today was one day, bro. I can't take it.
we gave you almost an extra half hour out of hell.
Perfect.
So,
Needed.
but, yeah. So, and before I forget, go Lions.
Yeah.
We won't talk about what happened last Sunday, but
if you can get in tonight.
yeah, if you can get into the stadium tonight.
I'm curious to hear how that goes.
Well, you know what?
Tomorrow.
I will watch the news after the game and let you know. So.
Yeah, call me and let me know. I'll be hopefully long asleep by the end of the news.
Well, I won't call you. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know tomorrow. I'll be curious to see how that works out.
Well,
there was some massive outages today. There's seriously.
Yeah, they were telling everybody to log into the stadium's Wi-Fi, and if that didn't work, they want you to walk all the way around to the other side of the stadium to the box office so they can help you out.
Yeah. And the line's
not
probably
after I've been standing in line for 3 hours to get in the door.
Well, and the line probably would go all the way around the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're dealing with it on a one-time, individual basis, my gosh, I can't imagine. So
right.
this was an exceptional day in some respects. So
all right, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. God willing.
Yeah, and I know I know I'm not going anywhere. Only place I'm going right now is I'm going over to the couch to prop my foot up and watch some football.
There you go. Enjoy.
even got my Amon-Ra St. Brown colors on tonight. I think they're wearing the special third uniform tonight, so I'm appropriately attired for that.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go feed my cranky canines. They
There you
really
go.
are poor, miserable little things.
Yeah.
But
They're so they're so neglected. And,
yeah.
you know. Dad, you coming out yet?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well,
I'll let you go first.
all righty. Well, do something nice for each other and for yourself. Please, please, please be competent in everything you do. And stay safe, shoot straight, keep stacking, stack the right stuff. I'm out.
All right, everybody. Just be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves and each other. Nobody else is going to do it. Let the people you love know it. And we'll see y'all soon. Keep stacking, keep hunting. Stack what you like, stack what you can afford. And for the love of God, have fun with it. Don't let it stress you out. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Michi's out.
Go Lions.